Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dorka and today I'm going to be talking about a really good topic, especially for high school kids or if you're in college and the first year and you still have many questions, because today I'm going to be talking about 8 things I wish I knew before I went to college. Currently, I'm a student of Corvinus University of Budapest, which is one of the most famous universities in Hungary, and I'm studying international business to make some money. Show me the money! Just kidding. So I thought that I would make a video because when I finished high school, I went to college with the same attitude and the same mindset, and I had to realize that college or university, because here in Hungary it's university, but I know that many of you go to college, so I'm just gonna say college and university. Here is the same thing. So I went to college with the same mindset as when I went to high school, and I had to realize that it's not the same thing and you need to have a different mindset when you go to college. So I thought I would make a video and try to help you understand why it's different to go to college than high school. So let me begin by saying the first thing. First I want to point out is friendships. In college, you are not going to have a class. You are not going to see the same people each and every day. In high school, you probably have a class. At least in Hungary, you have a class. You spend every day with the same people. You go to the same class with every single people for 8 years. Or 4, depends on what type of college, what type of high school you went to. In college, however, there are, let's say, an average 100-120 people on your faculty. For example, international business. But since you are allowed to choose your own timetable and you're allowed to organize what type of lessons or subjects you want to study, you are not going to meet the same people. And this is why I felt like, oh my gosh, I haven't found my people in university yet. And I was like, wow, I'm so sad. But then I realized that I haven't even met half of my faculty. Like I met, 50 people, and I'm not talking about it because of the coronavirus. I'm talking about because I applied for some courses and not everyone applied for the same courses, so it's different. And this is why I feel like it's okay if at the end of the first year you still feel like you don't belong to this university or college, because you actually do. You just haven't found the perfect people for you, because you still have so much to go. You still have so much to study, to do, and this is why it's completely okay if you feel like you are not gonna have friends or you don't belong to that university, because you do. The second that I wanted to point out, and this is my favorite one because this is the most, how shall I put this? This is the most important for me, is grades. So in high school, I was a nerd because I got only 5s, or in other terms A's, and every time I got a B or a 4, I was like crying. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to fail. And I was like, I was studying all day, every day just to get A's, and I was so happy. I'm like, it's so easy. Then university came, a completely different subject, a completely different professor, and I was like, man, I got a 4 and I was so disappointed in myself, and I was like, wait, this is university. This isn't high school anymore where you study 2 plus 2 is 4. It's not high school where you have the material with yourself, where a professor or a teacher actually explains the things. Because in college or university, you get a material the professor explains to you in an hour and a half, and then it's on you whether you need more explanation. And I just realized that in college, especially that I've never studied economic before. Like, I went to an average high school, just like history, math, chemistry, biology, physics, and some languages. But I didn't have like economics. And when I applied to Corvinus, I was like, man, I'm gonna suffer a lot, especially that I'm studying in English, which is not my first language. But anyways, I just realized I don't need 5s or A's. Of course, you do need them because you need to have like a good average at the end of the year. But having 4s or 3s sometimes is okay. The third one is relationship. So I just got out of a relationship, I think like a couple days ago. But I just wanted to point out, I'm not going to be talking about it. I just wanted to say that when you go to college, especially if you're like me, in high school, I didn't have a boyfriend. I never looked at boys because I was so busy with studying, and I was like, nah, I don't have time for boys. I'm gonna have time in college or university. And in university, I had time for a boyfriend. But I was like, oh my gosh, I finally found the one, we're gonna get married and stuff like that.
No, honey, it's not a fairy tale.
You are going to meet a lot of boys in college, especially from other faculties, older or even younger. And your first one is probably not going to be your last one, because you have so many opportunities in college to go abroad, to join organizations, and you are going to meet so many people that the first boyfriend you dump or girlfriend is not going to matter. After a while, of course, you need to mourn the relationship. It's over. The fourth one, professors. If you're like me, you probably had a good relationship with your professors in high school. Because let's say I'm a nerd, and of course teachers like when I get straight A's, when I, volunteer on the lessons. In college, it's completely different. I don't know how many times I said completely, but it's because so you understand that it's different, not slightly different, but very different. Why? Because in college, you are not going to have as a close relationship with your professor than in high school. Why? Because you see your professor once a week, twice a week, let's say, maximum twice a week, and then that's all. He teaches, 100 people. He probably not gonna remember your name because, let's say, it's not his interest to become friends. His interest is to tell you the subject so you can understand. Of course, high school teachers want you to understand the subject, but since you go there for 8 or 4 years, they will know you. But in college, when you study a subject for a semester, let's say 2 semesters maximum, they are not going to remember your name. So don't try and go be like, hey, what's good? Let's go out for a drink. Of course, I had a professor I went to have a drink with. Not just the 2 of us, like the whole group. But because he was, like a teacher, but also a student, because he was studying masters and the main professor gave him the course, and we were like, "You're so cool, let's go for a drink." And we went out for a drink and he got really drunk, but that's another story. The fifth one is going to be time management. What do I mean by time management? So if you don't know, in college or university you get to organize your own timetable, meaning you can pick that on Monday I don't want to study, so you don't apply for courses. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you just have to, apply for all the obligatory courses, and of course you can choose from elective ones. In high school you have a strict timetable. You have to be in school at 8 a.m. until, 3 p.m. You go home, you study because next day you have a test. In college, that's not how it goes. In college, you don't even have tests during the year. I mean, sometimes you have midterm exams, but sometimes people are be like, okay, I don't have to study, like I can go out drinking every day. But you don't realize that 1 week is not enough to get prepared for a midterm exam, especially if you have 2 or 3 midterm exams on the same week, because that's a possibility. And people be like, oh my gosh, like I can study whenever I want. Like, honey, no, you can't. So you really need to pay attention how you organize your time, because you cannot just be like, okay, I'm not going to study, and then, fail the exam. No, you need to study. You need to see, on the weekend I can sacrifice one day to revise. So this is my one time advice that I want you to understand, because if you fail to manage your time, you are going to be in trouble. The next one is going to be stress level. Well, if you are a stressful person like I am, who can't sleep before exams, can't eat before exams, so stressful before every exam that messes up the exam because of stress, I have good news. College is less stressful, in my opinion. Why am I saying that? It is obviously known that what you study in high school is not always, you're not going to use it in life. Let's see an example. Chemistry. I've always hated chemistry. I don't even recall what we learned in chemistry. But what you study in college is different, because you have to use it in real life. It is not required to remember everything from college in order to use that in real life. How do I know that? Being at the first year of college. My father, he studied astronomy and physics in college, and I saw his degree. Sometimes he got 3s, 4s, but the ones that he was interested in, he got 5s. And now he is a business owner. So, don't stress over subjects that you're not interested in. Of course, you can put yourself a level, okay, I want to get, 3 or 4 from this subject. But don't stress over getting a 5. It is not worth it. Go out, live your life. Don't stress. I've always hated understanding financial statements. It's basically accounting. And as easy as it sounds, like you just have to, write a balance sheet or income statement, no, it's not that easy. And I got a 3. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, what's gonna happen? What happened? Nothing. Nothing happened. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I have a good average. And that's it. That's life. So don't stress over it. The next one is going to be freedom that everybody wants in life. Well, I know that in high school you probably had a lot of lessons, you probably had a lot of problems, but in college it's different. How different? Completely different. Why? As I'm going to be talking for the third time about how you can organize your timetable, it is possible that you have to commute for college because it's not in your city. Or even if it's in your city, you need to take the train, bus, whatever. But the freedom you have when you finish your classes, you get around with your friends and you go, and I don't know, there are just like so many little bars and coffees around Corvinus, and I remember when it wasn't COVID that I went out with my friends to grab a coffee, to eat, to walk along the Danube. You don't have your parents, your teachers telling you that, oh, you shouldn't smoke. If you want to smoke, just go out and smoke. I don't smoke. I don't know why I took this example, but you understand my point. And the last one is going to be competition. What do I mean by competition, you might ask? Well, this is a bad news for everyone because in high school, you could get 2s, 3s, nobody cared. However, in college, you get some prizes if you study well. What do I mean? For example, you get money. I mean, I'm not saying that you get paid for studying, but that's the truth. If you have a good average, in my university, you can get a specified amount of money, which you can spend on whatever you want. Or you can have money if you go on competitions, like normal competitions. And this is why many people will stab you on the back because they want a better grade than you. In high school, you don't see that. In college, I felt it was more common that because I had better grades, people tried to bring me down. And I just felt like because the university had such a huge impact on people, oh, I'm gonna pay you money if you study well. Everyone want to be like 5, like have an average of 5. And I feel like that is just not cool. Like, that's why many friendships fail in college and university, because people be like, oh, I don't want to below you, and so I'm gonna drag you down and I don't know, send you bad homework, or I don't know, help you with the exam. It's really childish, and I thought that in college or university people would be more mature, and I don't know, like even boys, I don't want to go into that. But yeah, so you will meet a lot of childish people because of this competition. So I advise you, stay on your feet, be true to yourself, and just live your life and don't stress over every single stupid guy or girl or professor or grade. Just live your life to the fullest. Thank you so much guys for watching. I really enjoyed making this video. I hope that you're going to enjoy watching it. So I'm gonna see you guys in my next video. Have a nice day. Bye!